And now, the top-rated and most listened-to sibling podcast about theme parks that drops on a Thursday from the state of New York. Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz, brought to you by DillosDizResort.com.
Now is the time.
Forever?
Miss Tomorrow.
Old.
A minute and a half.
Hashtag always MGM.
Yeah, about you, right?
Old.
The
Drink.
secret staircase.
We always do that.
You are approaching the unloading area.
Behold the majesty of the Sistine Seal.
For the kids.
A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Walt Disney World.
What a cute ending.
Aloha and welcome aboard.
This is Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here for day 2 of this 4-day, 4 parks podcast event over the Memorial Day weekend. We are now here for day 2 of my trip reports. Today, we're going to cover the Magic Kingdom. If you didn't check out the Animal Kingdom, please do so. It's always rare when Jen or I talk about the Animal Kingdom, so get them while they're hot.
I would call these 4 days an extravaganza.
It's an extravaganza. It's a spectacle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's all the things, especially when it comes to having one of those days include the Animal Kingdom. It's like a rare bird. It's like a rare animal in the Animal Kingdom. Us talking about the Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So we're here today talking about the Magic Kingdom. This is it. You know, back in the Magic Kingdom. It was the return.
Pixie dust.
I went rope drop to closing. Can you believe it? Can you believe my stamina?
I cannot believe your stamina. First of all, coming off of the day you had at Animal Kingdom, which I felt like you did a ton, but then the fact that you got up so early for rope drop, but it was perfect that you did, because then you pretty much just had it to yourself. I mean, maybe there were some other people, but you pretty much had the kingdom to yourself in that morning.
Definitely. And I think, it was kind of like what do I want to say? It was a fate. It was destiny. It was meant to be. It was serendipitous. That is the word I'm looking for, because I was not expected that when I arrived so early in the morning that I would be going right into the park. Jen, you wanted me to do all this content. You said first thing in the morning, I want the morning dew. I want you to walk the new path to the Grand Flow. I want you to walk all the way to the Poly. I want to get angry at the building of the monorail station. And then I want you to walk all the way back and do it all again. And then you can go to the Magic Kingdom. That is what you said. That is what you told me.
I mean, I don't think I said it all like that. And I think I said, if you can get the dew, get the dew. And I think doing the walk during daylight hours is better than at night for the alligator purposes. But I think that's all I was saying.
Well, it was a bit of circumstances that led to me going right into the Magic Kingdom, because it is rare that I use the Walt Disney World bus system. We usually rent a car. We usually don't rely on the buses. But of course, with my great anxiety, part of this trip was I need to get on the buses as early as possible, because I don't want to sit and wait for the buses. Yeah. So I was waiting for a bus at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. That's like earlier. Angela Dahlgren style. It's the only other person I know on these buses at 6:30 a.m.
I almost wanted to DM her and be like, well, I'm at the park. I'm at the bus. Come meet me. Come meet me. Now, where are you? Right. Like she did to me on the Galaxy's Edge opening morning.
Exactly.
I'm here. What are you doing? What are you waiting for?
But it only been 5:30 her time. It's fine.
So the bus comes at 6:45. I arrive at the Magic Kingdom at a little after 7. I'm on the the contemporary side, where the buses are, and I get over it. There's a good crowd of people, but what I notice is I can't. The turnstiles aren't open yet, so I actually can't get over to the walking path of the Grand Floridian because of construction walls and things like that. I was like, I can't get over there right now. I'll just hang out right here. And then maybe 10 after 7, quarter after 7, they start letting people in through the quote unquote turnstiles, even though there's no turnstile. Just use your magic band. You know what I didn't do? What I didn't do during this trip was try to scan the ticket on my phone.
I was about to ask you. Mm-hmm.
I didn't. Then listen, I only got used to the magic bands like 2 years ago. So,
one thing at a time, everybody. I'm just catching up.
Where's my paper ticket and put a stamp on it? Where is that?
Can you stamp my hand when I leave so I can look under the black lights?
Like no joke. I was not into magic bands until 2017. So that's the first. I think they were already around for like 3 years before I started actually using one. So they let you into the park, and I'm like, you know what? There's not many people walking in right now. Let me go get some empty Main Street content.
Yeah.
And because again, Jen is just harping on me about the content and the TikToks. And like you went a whole episode yesterday without mentioning TikTok. Can I just say that the Thursday episode of Theme Park Thursday about the Animal Kingdom, you did not mention TikTok one time.
That's a really good point. And at last week's episode with Steve, until the end of the episode when we were giving him the TikTok handle, that's the only time we mentioned it. It was astounding. Maybe I'm just not watching TikTok as much. That's not true. Of course I'm watching TikTok just as much as I always am.
I got a TikTok last weekend and had over 14,000 views.
That was very impressive.
I don't even
You got us more followers with it.
Yeah. I
you had some date requests. It was very exciting.
I did. I had some. You don't worry, Frank. There's someone out there for you. I'm like, I'm married with a child. I don't understand.
It's okay. There's a lid for every pot. You hang in there, buddy. It's okay.
Like you do you. You live your. I'm like, I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. I'm not on Match.com right now, am I? That's just my TikTok.
This is my TikTok. I said one thing and suddenly people are making assumptions. And anyway, Main Street empty, right? So I'm going one side of the tunnel video. I go to the other side of the tunnel. They're playing the music that we use as our exit music here on the podcast as I'm going through the tunnel. It's perfect. I couldn't ask for anything better than to time it out with the music that we use, performed by Lindsay Zarugian.
Yes.
On Theme Park Thursday, the podcast, to be playing as I'm walking through the tunnels of the Magic Kingdom. But then, as I'm looking up towards Cinderella Castle, I'm like, okay, that's a nice castle, the new decor, the new hues, everything else. I notice that people are walking straight through. Like there's no stopping at the hub. There's no hold up. They just let you in. And I'm like, are things open right now? Are there attractions open? I'm going to have to continue to investigate. And so I'm going up Main Street, taking the pictures, content, all the way up Main Street. I walk up to the castle. I don't even know the last time I walked through Cinderella's castle. Yeah. Like, it's always closed off. There's always some stage show going on. Yeah. There's always some kind of big spectacle happening. You always got to walk around the sides where Merida is and the other side. Like you can never get right through the middle these days and see the mosaics. It doesn't happen anymore. Right. And it's wide open. It's wide open all the way through the castle. I'm like, what is going on? And why is it 1987? That's how it felt. It felt empty, and I had the whole place to myself, and there was only some people walking around. So it was amazing. So I go through so Fantasyland is empty. It's like empty video of the carousel just going around by itself. I'm like, I feel like I'm a cast member, like just walking through for my shift. Yeah. I go over and I'm like, oh, here's where reality is. Everyone is waiting for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. The loop around the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Like it's just everyone's. I'm like, I hope you're all. Nothing against the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's a fine ride. Yeah. I like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's the sixth coaster in the Walt Disney World parks. Yeah. Is that true? There's a Triple Mountain. Well, you can't count Splash Mountain. So what you got? You got Space. You got Thunder. You got Everest. You got Rock and Roller Coaster. You got it's the fifth. Is it the fifth coaster? Is there anything else? What am I missing? So I hope they're all going on for the first time. Is my point. To me, like I can't, and I'll talk about it throughout the day. It never dipped below a half an hour. I don't see waiting more than a half an hour for 7 cars on my train, period. And so I'm like, okay, but it's Space Mountain open. And, if you listen, I don't think I say it enough, but like Space Mountain is like my top attraction. I love Tower of Terror. I love the immersive rides. I love Tower of Terror. I obviously love Smuggler's Run. Like this things that really pull you into a world I love. But Space Mountain is like my all-time. Like if I can do Space Mountain, I do Space Mountain. So I walk in. Is these people waiting outside? Or are they walking around? Oh, those people are walking in. Okay, I'm gonna walk it. Walked right down. Right. It is 7:25 in the morning, and I'm walking right on Space Mountain. It's 7:25 in the morning.
Were you like, what is this world I'm in now?
How can this be? Why is it happening? And oh my God. Yeah. So I'm like, this is it. It's like all I needed in my day, Yeah. We talked about this. Like I like walking around the parks by myself, as we talked. That's part of the TikTok video that it's so right. I like the solo time. I love spending time with other people as well, but I was hoping to have enough time where it's just me, like just so I could be alone with my thoughts in my head and just do whatever I wanted. And this was it, right? 7:30 in the morning, Space Mountain by myself. I'm like, well, that's it. That's all I needed. This is filling that spot. This time that I needed to myself, going on Space Mountain solo, 7:30 in the morning. That is all I needed. And as I'm walking out of the attraction, the delusions of grandeur start coming in. What else can I do? What else can I do during this time? Now, again, the stamina, I really don't know if I can go the whole 4 days. Like I've barely put in steps for 15 months, and I'm about to walk all the way across Magic Kingdom because my next thought is Big Thunder Mountain. I want the triple mountain whammy before 8:30 in the morning. Right. So I go all the way. I start going. Boom, go. Tomorrowland Speedway, Mad Tea Party. Winnie the Pooh, I just breezed by all day long. I forgot that was even a thing until today that we're recording. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about going on Winnie the Pooh. And I get to Peter Pan's flight, and there's no line for Peter Pan's flight.
Crazy. Madness.
I am like, again, is it 1987? Am I dreaming that I have gone back and have I been watching Back to the Future too much on VH1 and Bravo and every other cable channel it's been on? Right. So no line. I'm like, well, I gotta go. I haven't been on Peter Pan's flight without a fast pass in at least 10 years, probably more.
I think that is incorrect. I'm going to fact check you.
Oh, you think you and I went on without a fast pass?
I think January 2018 with the whole family, we were able to do like everything in Fantasyland within like an hour or two. And I think Peter Pan's on that list.
I think we had a fast pass for Peter Pan. We might have to fact check that.
We'll have to fact check.
So regardless, the triple mountain whammy ended because I was like, well, I gotta go on a Peter Pan. So what was cool is I had not seen the extended queue of Peter Pan before, and all the little additions that they added. They have a similar new queue at Winnie the Pooh the last couple of years. The Peter Pan one is really, really nice. It's simple. I'm like, where did all this space come from? What was here? What did they carve into? But it's really cool. And, portraits of the kids and bedroom and pixie dust on panels and things like that. I really, really enjoyed it. But to be off of Peter Pan by 8 a.m., I'm like, what's happening?
That's so crazy.
I don't even understand. And so just great. And to be able to go on that twice in a day, where it's probably been twice in the past 10 years. Yeah. One time with you guys, with the whole family, and one other time, like it's crazy. So then I go down to Big Thunder Mountain and it says 15-minute wait. I'm like, great. I walk in, I go around and right down the ramp onto a train. I'm like, how is this day starting this way? Right. And so this is the point of now the first day, travel day, Animal Kingdom, try not to kill yourself with overdoing it the first day, is now being replaced like by this Magic Kingdom euphoria. It is, I cannot even begin to explain like where my head is. I'm literally a teenager going through the Magic Kingdom. Boom, on and off. Big Thunder Mountain, and I chose to go on Big Thunder Mountain before Splash. I think just because I wanted Splash to be the closer, and it had said 5 minutes for Splash, but by the time I got off of Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain was 35 minutes, and I was like, I knew other people wanted to go on Splash Mountain, so I waited.
Yeah.
In the randomness, I turned the corner. I'm like, I'm gonna need to. I'm trying to time out when everyone is meeting up with Justin Monorail, meeting up with Landon Nadal also from Morning Monorail, meeting up with our good friend and DIllo's Disney Resort guest, Theme Park Rob. So I'm trying to time it out. And I'm like, okay, I was going to get breakfast at Sleepy Hollow because I haven't had Sleepy Hollow before. But there's no line on the Magic Carpets of Agrabah, or whatever that ride is called.
The Magic Carpets of Aladdin.
Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which I've never been on, which I've never approved of existing before because of its placement in Adventureland. And the camels that spit that were in Aladdin's Royal Caravan and #AlwaysMGM, as referenced by Chasen Hampton on the Instagram. By the way, the party, one night only, House of Blues.
That has to be its own episode. We can't discuss that right now. That's a tangent we don't have time for right now.
There's no time. Got a minute and a half. So I'm looking at I'm like, am I about to go on the carpets by myself for the first time? I've never been on it. But all I could hear in my ear is Jen going, content. We need content.
I will be honest, beforehand, we were talking and saying, what should you do? And I was going to say this ride. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that to him. You did it to yourself.
I did do it to myself. And you know what? The views were nice. And I accept the content that I filmed. And I never have to go on it again until the 5-year-old makes me.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of feel like, too. Like, I have never been on it. I'm probably going to end up on it sooner rather than later once the kids realize what it is. So... Yeah.
And it's, again, there was no line. I walked right on. Again, it's the Magic Carpets. I mean, but it was good to just do it to get to see from above, and we were good to go. Now, the other views you could get from Adventureland was on Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. So when I put in my order for Sleepy Hollow, you're making a face at it because I know you don't enjoy walking through the treehouse. But when I put in my food order, because I was mobile ordering, because I was into the mobile ordering now, because after I watched Justin Monorail do it in Animal Kingdom, I did it at my resort that night because I was still a little hungry at the end of the day. So I was ready. I was ready to do the mobile ordering. So I order my waffle, the fresh fruit waffle sandwich for $8.29, served with strawberries, bananas, blueberries, and chocolate hazelnut spread, which we're not going to call Nutella, but that is what I ordered with a nice cup of coffee. I was like, I need coffee because I need the caffeine to fuel this excitement even more.
Yeah.
And then I start going up the tree. Like, I will walk the treehouse while I wait for my food to be ready. I literally got to the first platform. I took a picture of the little water mill thing, and my order was ready. I was like, well, no treehouse for me.
Yeah.
Another trip without a walk around the treehouse. But again, as I mentioned the treehouse to the 5-year-old, she was like, I want to go on a treehouse. I was like, well, we'll see what month of the year it is and how humid it is before we decide to do that.
Yeah.
Before breakfast, it was the Magic Carpets, Thunder Mountain, Peter Pan, and Space Mountain. That's like a day sometimes for us in the Magic Kingdom.
That's fine, I guess.
The breakfast was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed listen, I've become very big on Liberty Square the last 2.5 years or so. I don't know why. It's not like I was big on the Haunted Mansion as a kid. Hall of Presidents, you take a nap. But over the last couple of years, I feel like all of a sudden there's like little triggers of memories in my brain.
Yeah.
Like this shop, the Christmas shop. And, there's just little things that pop up that make me go, oh. So sitting in a little nook of Sleepy Hollow with the castle behind me, I did a little IG Live.
I was so impressed that you did an IG Live. I was like, what? You're live right now? Although, and I saw you like, I don't know. I don't think anyone's here. I'm going to go, oh, people are on. Okay, I'll stay. What do I do on this IG Live thing?
Get me out of here. So that was nice. And then Justin Monorail joined, and we did Haunted Mansion. Ended up doing Haunted Mansion 3 times in one day.
Mm-hmm. New record.
So, new record for sure. Never been on Haunted Mansion 3 times in one day.
Yeah.
But every time somebody new came, we went on Haunted Mansion. Everyone's favorite is Haunted Mansion, and that's cool. And then we did Splash Mountain. You know I love Splash Mountain.
Yes, it's like your top pick.
You know that we're both excited for the Princess and the Frog retheme.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's got to be imminent because, again, I love just being on the attraction. I love it. It just makes me feel good. And the animatronics, you can tell they're on their way out. They all have a look on their face like, yeah, we know it's over. My hair is a little matted.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly all put together. My ears are probably not aligned properly. There's
not really fixing us up anymore.
We're not getting that fluff we used to get back in the mid 90s. That was really the one thing I noticed about Splash Mountain. And so I have to think, and we talked about this, the group, that, when it goes for its winter maintenance kind of thing, that maybe that's when you'll see the turnover. Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how much they really have to do in terms of the retheming, but I'm hoping they're working on it already so they can just swap out everything along the way. I don't know how it'll be done, but I thought it was the first time, and it could be, and I thought about this on different attractions throughout the week, is I'm like, are they using LED light bulbs these days? Is the lighting changing in all these attractions, or is it my old eyes? Which one is it? Because I felt like the light was shining on things differently and exposing some areas for what they why am I looking at this animatronic differently, and why does it look like that? It's like, is the lighting right? I don't know. There's little thoughts I had along the way, and I just talked a whole lot, so I'm going to take a breather for you to ask any questions you may have at this time about
it's fine. I think it's your trip report. Aren't you supposed to be talking a lot? So when you went on Splash Mountain and you were with Justin Monorail, yes. Were you also, and we talked yesterday about being in the back of Everest. I believe you were in the back of the Splash Mountain log as well, were you not?
Indeed. Yes.
And how did that compare to being in the back of Everest?
No comparison. Splash Mountain has never bothered me. The dip on Splash Mountain has never bothered me ever. I've never felt my head go after or anything like that. So that wasn't a problem. And it was definitely going backwards on Everest that was the real kicker for me more than anything else. No, Splash wasn't a problem. I thought that Thunder Mountain might be in the morning, empty stomach, was going to be a problem, and it felt a little rough. But in the afternoon, we went on it again, and I didn't notice. It didn't shake me up. The one that I really noticed the change on, I felt like Space Mountain had been fine tuned recently. Someone tightened the bolts and made things a little more fluid. It didn't feel as rough. And Theme Park Rob said the same thing later in the day when he rode Space Mountain with me, because I tried to bookend my day with Space Mountain, and he was like, "Oh, that was the best Space Mountain ride I've had." I don't know if he said ever or in a while, because he thought it shook him up a lot more than usual. Yeah,
I feel like every once in a while, Space Mountain, it is crazy how it can feel differently depending on different times of the day or different times of the year. It's crazy. And Theme Park Rob, when you came down that Splash Mountain hill, he was waiting for you on that bridge, because I got that video of you and Justin Monorail. And so I was like, was this the first time you found them? Is this how you found them? Was coming down the hill?
He got into the park. Yeah, he got into the park when we were in the middle of the queue. So by the time we were through, and we got delayed a couple of times in the middle of the ride. So by the time that we got to the top, he was on the bridge, which was pretty fun. Yeah. For lunch, finally, I did the walk. You wanted me. I took the path from the Magic Kingdom all the way to the Polynesian. Yeah. Very nice. Again, benefited on both the Tuesday and Wednesday of my trip. This is being Wednesday, May 19th, that a good breeze for a good portion of the day, the breeze kind of masking the heat. So especially on that path from Magic Kingdom to the Grand Flow, it was much shorter than I anticipated, because sometimes I feel like taking the monorail from Grand Floridian into Magic Kingdom is longer than Poly to Grand Floridian. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay.
Would you say that what's longer, Polynesian to Grand Floridian or Grand Floridian?
I think sometimes you probably get we're going to hold here for traffic clearance beef on the way from Grand Flow to the Magic Kingdom, typically because there's probably someone in the station at Magic Kingdom. So maybe that's what makes it feel a little longer. The track, wraps around the water. Maybe it's just the illusion that it's longer is there. Yeah,
I mean, that's fair. So I felt like it was quick to get to the Grand Flow. I think my favorite part was being, just seeing the electrical water pageant floats from a different angle, because that was always used to be my favorite part of coming into the Magic Kingdom station. It's going over the canal where the electrical water pageant floats come out. And I mean, I remember when I got hired as a cast member, being taken, by where the parade would be in the Magic Kingdom behind Frontierland, and I was like, oh my God, this is so close to where the electrical water pageant floats are. Anytime I see that, it's cool, and you get the good angles, you get different views. It's all good. Good to walk through the Grand Floridian. We're trying to make it for the 12:30 Kona lunch, so I didn't think about diverting into the Grand Flow lobby for a little bit. Probably would have thought about that. Maybe with about 10 minutes more time. But then it's also a pretty short walk from Grand Floridian to Poly, I guess. It just all of a sudden it jumps up on you like, oh, I have a way to go. I'm feeling it kick in a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're into Poly. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Passing the old wedding pavilion, as it were.
Right. I saw more pictures of that. You have pictures and video of the entire trip. I like it. Maybe we'll put something together with it all.
Yeah, we'll put a little YouTube situation.
I have a lot of ideas in my head. We'll get there. We'll get all the content out there at some point.
Kona Lunch, 12:30, classic Kona. Sticky wings. Jen, you doubted that there would be sticky wings, and there were sticky wings. They were.
Have you told Ali yet?
You know what? I went out with the Ali florist on the Thursday night after the parks closed, and I don't think I. Oh, you know what? I think I did mention the sticky wings.
He has to know. He was there for when we realized they were gone. Well, when you realized. Yeah, very exciting. I'm very excited that those wings are back. They're just as good.
Yeah, and it was kind of an unofficial Forever 44 Fedora Club meeting in Justin Monorail.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there to bring it into session, so.
Yeah, right. It wasn't official because you didn't have a makeshift gavel. Theme Park Rob, Skipper Bob, who I got to meet for the first time, along with Mrs. Skipper.
Yes.
And everyone was so great. As Skipper Bob was wearing his Forever 44 Fedora Club.
Representing.
So this is where we plug the Cretin's Guild and all the things Cretin's Guild related right here. Everyone's super nice. Like, you can't say enough again about everyone in the community that we have interacted with. And but everyone in on the wings, I got that was my main. I was like, no, I just want wings as my main. Yeah. But everyone got wings as appetizers. Skipper Bob ordered some pot stickers for the table, which were delightful. I had the Lapu Lapu for the first time.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Pineapple. It was very nice. It was tasty. I would have liked, I will say, and this is not a slight on the Lapu Lapu, but I would have liked to have been able to carve a little more pineapple, like to eat the pineapple inside after with the alcohol in the fruit.
Sure.
I think that would have
I see.
Put it over the edge.
Like a Jello shot.
Yeah. So some pineapple infused Lapu Lapu.
Right.
So,
okay.
But again,
you should put that on the menu.
Yeah. Oh, I'll write a letter.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that, and just the meal in general. Like, it was just good to be in Kona in the Poly lobby with the sticky wings. What could be better? Yeah. And it was only 2:00 by then. Don't be jealous.
I'm a little bit jealous, but it's fine. I'm fine.
I only took one picture of the monorail station for you. I don't even know if you saw it.
I think I did see it. I feel like I've seen pictures and videos coming up here and there, so I was prepared for it. Yeah. How did it seem in person, though?
It wasn't as shocking in person, but again, where it's gonna live and die for me, and it's with those gates that are from the 1970s, the metal gates that would slide open and close.
While you were upstairs, could you peek out and see?
It wasn't not enough to peek. Mostly frosted windows there, but I felt like I got to spend, again, we're saying that you asked me on Thursday's show whether, talk about how fast and how slow did I get enough time and things like that. Like, I felt like I had lunch. I talked to the 5-year-old in the Poly lobby while everyone made their way back to the Magic Kingdom. I took some time to talk to the kid. Then I got to walk, through the Poly. I took the boat back because the monorail was having some issues. I did not ride a monorail on this trip.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
it's a fail. It's a fail.
We wanted me to do the walk. I had to do the walk.
How are you getting back?
I took the boat.
Walk over the Grand Flow. Hop on the monorail. What are you doing?
What I gotta walk back? I put on 26,000 steps my day in the Magic Kingdom. You couldn't. It wasn't 26,000 steps total the month of May up until May 19th.
Before you left for the trip, there was some debate over this Kona reservation because you were wondering, do I leave the parks? Originally, Magic Kingdom was only going to be open till 6. Do I leave for lunch and risk time away from the park? Meanwhile, you got in there at 7:30 a.m. on Space Mountain, had basically an entire day at Magic Kingdom, then enjoyed a nice leisurely lunch at the Poly and headed back to Magic Kingdom. So I think it turned out all right.
Yeah, it was it was crazy to know that when I got back into the park a little bit before 3, that I had already done so much and I still had like the People Mover. Like the People Mover was next. I was like, oh my God, I'm going on the People Mover. It's been forever. Yeah. People Mover, glorious as always. Can't go wrong. So good. Just can't do it. Yeah. I'm going to say, I think it's still not 100% and they're just getting by, but it's okay. It's running.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah.
It serves its purpose. Yeah.
Over on the Cretins Guild YouTube channel, you can see myself prior to Skipper Bob's, or maybe after, because Skipper Bob took 2 rides on the People Mover that afternoon. So you can hear me comment about the People Mover and it in all its glory. Then we were like, okay, what else do we want to hit? And I really, my only big ticket items were I had to go on the Barnstormer for the first time. And then I wanted to do Pirates because I like Pirates. I didn't need to do Jungle Cruise. I'm not it wasn't high on my list. So I felt like Dole Whip and Pirates were the 2 big items, especially that I didn't get the Dole Whip in the Poly. I could have.
Right.
And I was like, well,
sure.
I should just
but
try
you're going back to MK. Yeah.
And you got the mobile ordering. It's a different world when you can mobile order a Dole Whip and pick your window. Even if a later window comes up, at least you can go do something before and you're just not waiting in line. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be when it's full capacity and how the mobile ordering world will be, but I felt like it was a big difference to know, like, okay, I don't have to get my Dole Whip until 4:25, and then I have to wait 3 minutes to pick it up. Like that's not
right.
It's really
good. That's a pretty good setup. Yeah.
So Dole Whip. So we walk back over Dole Whip and Adventureland, Haunted Mansion. That was the 3rd time I think. Pirates had that was probably the longest wait of the day for me. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, and the second ride on Peter Pan's flight. So, but I would say in the overall, Pirates of the Caribbean was the longest wait.
How long was that
day? 35 to 40,
right?
Maybe somewhere in there. Haunted Mansion never had a wait longer than 10 minutes all day.
Right, and you just walk right on the ride still, or are you?
Yeah, you don't go into the stretching room. You walk through the stretching room. Thunder Mountain walked on both times.
Yeah.
I guess Splash Mountain was probably in that 45-minute range too.
Right.
Just to be on the up and up with the truth. And then Barnstormer, we walked.
Yeah. How did you feel about Barnstormer?
It was fine. I look forward to going on with the 5-year-old. It's it's a kid coaster. What are you gonna do?
Right.
I mentioned on the which of the social medias did I mention it on the Twitter? I think recently somebody else had posted about it, about the Little Mermaid dark ride, and I find myself going on it every time, which means every time I'm there, I go on it. At first I thought it was the 5-year-old. I thought because it was like New Fantasyland, whatever, but it's really I like the ride.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what I don't know what Winnie the Pooh did wrong, and I don't think I hold that much of a grudge against Mr. Toad that I can't open myself up to Winnie the Pooh. But we've talked about it before, where Winnie the Pooh just doesn't hit that spot.
No, and I think there was a part of me that with Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid ride, I always in the beginning I was like, that felt fast. That's just short. That's a really quick telling of that story. I feel like they skip a lot, but then I think at that point I hadn't watched Little Mermaid in a while, so having seen it multiple times since, I'm like, no, it actually doesn't feel that bad. They actually didn't miss much. It's a pretty quick movie overall. I don't know what I had in my head, but yeah, no, I like the ride. It's it is very similar to Nemo and all of that, but I don't know. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a little more lighter. I mean, if, it tells the story really well. I don't know. Yeah, I feel it's closer to Peter Pan than it is to Winnie the Pooh, I guess. If I had to put it on the gauge of here's Winnie the Pooh on one side and here's Peter Pan on the other side, it leans more towards Peter Pan.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So that was that's the quick version of the day, because it was just just go. It wasn't go. It was still time, but I think because we were able to do so much, it felt like go. Yeah, like the walk into Haunted Mansion again. I was like, what's happening? I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on Space Mountain one more time, and then I'll call it bookends with Space Mountain. And as Theme Park Rob and I were walking out of Space Mountain, and we saw that Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin was a walk on. I was like, well, now we're gonna go on.
Now we have to do this. Yeah.
So the only bummers were I did not have my buffalo chicken hot dog at the Friar's Nook because the Friar's Nook closed early, and that was something we had to adjust to over the couple of days. We'll talk about one in the studios tomorrow, but some places closed early because of the staffing stuff, and they didn't. If it was a college program time, everything would be open to the 9s, but some places closed early, and Friar's Nook was one of them. So I had breakfast and dinner at Sleepy Hollow. Yeah,
well, that works though.
I mean,
with a Kona in the middle, I mean, you're not really going wrong there at all.
No, can't go wrong. And I had the sweet and spicy chicken waffle sandwich, which was $10.49. Broccoli slaw with a honey sriracha glaze served with house-made chips. $10.49.
Looked pretty good.
It was good.
Was it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on a waffle.
So I asked you this yesterday for Animal Kingdom. I will ask you again for Magic Kingdom. The best moment of the day for you?
There were a lot of best moments. I was just to say walking on Space Mountain seemed like that was it. But I think the castle looks really great. So to get a lot of pictures of the castle, take some goofy selfies in front of the castle.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that just kind of have that moment of breath where you're like, oh, I took a lot of the 1981 recreation pictures.
Yeah.
So I took one, and so we'll release them probably over Throwback Thursdays for the next couple of weeks, or Flashback Fridays, one or the other. We probably already did one, which was over in Adventureland, but I got one by the Tomorrowland entrance, the Carousel of Progress, Fantasyland by the Carousel, Haunted Mansion by one of the tombs. The stocks in Liberty Square. So we got some solid 1981 recreations coming. So that was a lot of fun, and everyone had fun trying to line. Oh, one outside the Hall of Presidents. Yeah, Justin Monorail took a bunch of them. Theme Park Rob took a bunch of them. And we had fun trying to figure out, especially me, who's like, why are you facing? You looked at the picture. Why did you face the other way, Frank? Why? Sorry, I screwed up the picture. Yeah, so that was awesome, and we saw some characters. Saw Moana for the first time. I had not seen Moana in the parks before, so that was interesting. And then sunset in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
the sky changing, the glorious Orlando sky. I didn't really talk about it the first night. It was more, I saw the sky more at the resort at the All-Star movies the night before, and it was just good. But the Magic Kingdom, the sun setting behind Liberty Square, I went into the Christmas shop, went into, we were over still eating and took a lot of castle shots. It was, pretty good, because then you can just go down the lit main street at the end. Yeah,
that's pretty good. It's a pretty good way to go out on the day. And then get depressed because it's all done, and it was like a perfect start and ending.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll come up tomorrow when we talk about the studios. But these 2 days were both, because it's the Magic Kingdom. You could sit there and go, well, tomorrow's not your last day. You're not going home tomorrow. Right. But there is something about having a pretty perfect day in the Magic Kingdom that at the end of it, you're like, oh, man. When will I be back here? Even though I kind of know when I'll be back here. When will I be back here? Right. Again, there's things to discuss about capacity and what JPEG says 100% by September. What does that really mean? It's really 100% of people really going to travel by September? I mean, it's like the hotels aren't all filling up right now. Right. So what does it really look like the rest of the year in terms of capacity? It's a really interesting time because you can't gauge what it will be. You can't determine what will be. You don't know where people are economically. You don't know, where they are with their jobs. Can they take their regular vacations? Are they coming back from furlough and they can't do any? You don't know what anyone's situation is to really determine what these theme parks are going to look like as we slowly return. I'm saying slowly return to normalcy, because I want to go slowly to normalcy. The mask off stuff, I did take my time. Especially the path to the Poly. I definitely walked with my mask off, and other places if I was having a drink in my hand or whatever, I took the mask off. I think in terms of capacity, I think it's going to be hard to gauge how busy the parks really will be going forward. I know that people are planning trips, but I don't know if when all the resorts open back up. All-Star Music, All-Star Sports are closed right now. So when that opens back up, I don't know what that does and how much of the parks will really be filled. And I think the other thing, again, and maybe we can get it in over these next couple episodes, is the fast pass. Like, does Peter Pan's flight need a fast pass? It doesn't. I feel like that's what makes it a longer wait time. 100%. I feel like it screws it up. Yeah. I think ever since the fast pass came to Peter Pan's flight is really when we've seen the problems. It wasn't a problem before the fast pass. Now you want to talk about whether or not, like, Disneyland will get the pay for fast pass situation. Right. Then whatever. But in the old way, I don't think a lot of these fast passes need to come back. I think they did more harm than good, just based on what I saw these 4 days. That's my opinion, especially on Peter Pan. No, I always think that the fast pass messed with Peter Pan for sure. I mean, it's just because it's a ride that you should be able to. It just keeps moving. What are these 75-minute wait times? It's always insane, but I think that's what it is. Crazy. So, and I'll talk about a couple of attractions in studios and Epcot where I feel like that comes into play as well. But Magic Kingdom especially, it feels like fast pass slows things down than speed. Makes your life better. Maybe I get it that if it makes your life better if you have the fast pass, but I don't think your life might not be that bad if there's no fast pass on Peter Pan. Right. I feel like this is a big old experiment right now. And they're trying to see like, this is interesting. They have to be watching all of it. Yeah, and Chapek says that the park reservation system will stay and that virtual queues will be more. And if the virtual queues replace the fast pass, I guess. Yeah. But park reservation system, I think, and people have said it. I think Justin Monterella said it. I think we've said it in the past of like it's a way for them to know how to staff parks that day. They don't have to overschedule cast members if they know that they don't have as many people coming to the park that day. Yeah. And they'll save money. Yeah. Otherwise, the Magic Kingdom day was fantastic. Sounds magical. It was really good. Pixie dust. Almost made it to Country Bear Jamboree. I would say that would be something that I didn't go on Carousel of Progress. It's a small
Yeah.
world.
Uh-huh.
I feel like next time, and again, depending on what month of the year it is, again, you think about the heat and the humidity of like, okay, will I take the 5-year-old to Country Bear Jamboree because we'll be indoors? Will I take her to Philo Magic because it's indoors?
Right.
These are, I felt myself on, scouting missions too of, should she come with me on or us on in a hotter month? What would that look like?
Right. Yeah.
Tomorrow, we got the studios on Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz 4-Day 4 Parks podcast event extravaganza spectacle. Runaway Railway right at the top.
Bum, bum, bum.
Until that time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz, featuring Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. The theme was composed by Matt Harvey. The intro and the outro was performed by Lindsay Zarugian. The DIllo's Diz fact checker is Mel Dale. You can give DIllo's Diz a follow on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok at DIllo's Diz. DIllo's with an S, Diz with a Z. You can like DIllo's Diz on Facebook, facebook.com/DIllo's Diz. And you can subscribe to DIllo's Diz on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DIllo's Diz. That is where you'll find Theme Park Thursday live each and every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Drop us a line. DIllo's Diz, 55 Girard Street, number 987, Huntington, New York, 11743. And you can check in to the DIllo's Diz Resort at DIllosDizResort.com, your virtual destination for exclusive DIllo's Diz content. 3 membership level tiers, all at DIllosDizResort.com. We'll see you real soon, and that real soon is next week for Theme Park Thursday with DIllo's Diz. The Improviser's Guide Network 2021.